What happens when we just let our children play and simply give them the freedom to play? The other day I took my girls to Glue Collective. They're based in Shenley Fields in Northfield, Birmingham. There was no big itinerary, there were no screens, there were no expensive toys, there was no soft play. There was just a space that the company had set up, and they had materials in a nature environment, and they were just given permission to explore. There were mud kitchens to get completely messy in, paints that they could experiment with, clay to mold into whatever their imaginations came up with. They was just free to run wild. They was able to do their own face paints, and most importantly, there wasn't someone constantly telling them what they were supposed to create. They was just exploring themselves in this small woodlands. I think that's what I loved about it most, because sometimes as parents, myself, we can become so focused on giving our children experiences that we accidentally direct their experience. We tell them, do this, try that, come over here, don't do this, let me show you how to do this. But today I found myself actually just stepping back and watching them just play and be themselves. And when you give children that space, something really beautiful happens. They start making their own decisions. They experiment, they get things wrong, but then they can just try again. They explore, they don't know what it is, but they just make up their own play. They talk to other children. And it doesn't necessarily make sense to us, but it makes sense completely to them. And you start to realize play isn't just play. They're learning how to think. They're building confidence in their own ideas. And that's what I want for my children. I want them to use their imagination, where they can solve problems, where they discover what they're capable of without even knowing they're learning. And maybe that's something childhood needs a little more of these days. Not always another organised activity, not always another screen, not always us as parents filling every quiet moment so then they don't get bored. But sometimes they just need that space where they can have a little bit of mud, some paint, and the freedom to just wander. And let them think, what could I make? What could I create? So I'm reminded it isn't always to create something for them. Sometimes our job as parents is to just simply create the space and let them create themselves.